Okay guys, so in this one we're going to change to make sure our reply form looks a little bit different. It just has the body and then maybe it says what we're replying to, and that's pretty much all we really need. So it's not going to be a whole lot of changes. We're just going to open up our forms.py for the direct messages, and then we're going to copy this one, copy compose, and just change it to reply form. We're going to get rid of receiver and subject and just keep body. That way it's pretty much the same, but just a little bit different. Now in our view, if we scroll back up, we want to import that. So reply form, and we can scroll down, save it in there, or replace compose form with reply form. Now when we go back in here, now it just says compose. We should probably change the template to make a little bit more sense to us, but I'm going to change it so we don't actually have to change that much here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put, we'll say title equals to compose, but instead of just being compose, I'm going to use like the actual HTML tags here. That way I can kind of style things a little bit different. So let's go ahead and copy that, and under reply we're going to say reply to, it's going to be %s for string substitution. So we want to do the parent dot subject and then the parent dot sender. So we're replying, this title is going to be replying to those. We actually want to put it below this parent tag here because otherwise this might bring up some errors for us. So we want to make sure that we have that parent object actually showing up already. Cool. So now that we have this, we need to change our compose.html. So let's jump into that. Back in our view, and again, we have these h1 tags in here, so we want it to actually render as such. So let's first look at it just as title, and we refresh in here. It shows the h1 tags, and that's because we didn't, well, if we get rid of these two and we go back, it's still small, but it shows the h1 tags, and that's because we didn't actually mark this as a safe template. So if you do safe, it will render the HTML text that's in there. So that's actually kind of cool, right? So then now we can be a little bit smarter about this form here, and now it's showing us like, hey, we have this reply, and if I changed a little bit more about the view, let's see, back into the view, if I change this to reply and then just made it like everything else small in there, then maybe it's going to look, you know, just a little bit different, and it says reply and then it says coding for entrepreneurs, and you could kind of play around with that stuff. Now, one of the disadvantages to this is once you go live, every time you want to change what that says, you would have to restart your server and then start it back up again in order for the changes to actually hold. And that's kind of one of the disadvantages, so, you know, keep that in mind. Whereas the template is rendered on demand, so it's likely you can just change the template to say whatever you want it to say, and then just upload the template, and then automatically it's going to change. You wouldn't have to restart your server in that case. But for now, I'm going to leave it like this, just kind of as a reference for you guys. But once we do the reply now, hi, this is the reply, and we submit it, we should, I mean, we got to kind of see something, but if we see down below, I just sent that, and it says this is the reply, and that works out very nicely, actually. So then whenever we want to reply things, we can do that very easily. Okay, so the last kind of thing that I want to do is when we compose is actually writing a message, like our general Django message, using the Django messages framework. And if we look before, we've already used it, so contrib.messages, and that is down here. So we actually want to do these types of things as well for a successful message send. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that and save that one. And then also I want to grab, we are going to grab messages and then reverse. So Django, so from Django.url .core.url resolvers import reverse. Okay, so now that we have those two, and I'm going to reorder them so it's in alphabetical order there. Now that I have messages in reverse, it's going to make these things a little bit more clear that we actually wrote that message. So first off, compose. I'm going to do messages success, all lowercase, success, and then it's going to take in the request, and then it says message sent. That's all I'm going to say for that one. And then I want to actually run a redirect. So there's another one we'll have to import is HTTP response redirect, not the permanent redirect, just redirect. And then after that, we'll do return the redirect. And I actually want it to return back into the inbox, so the URL for the inbox. And we want to know what that URL is before we use reverse. So I'll go into direct messages for inbox, and the name is inbox. So that is going to be very easy for us. So then when we go in here, we can do stream substitution for reverse and use just inbox. And that is then going to allow us to go directly back to that inbox after we compose something. So, hey buddy, hi, and then I submit it. Yeah, we probably don't need to do string substitution here. Actually, if anything, you probably shouldn't do string substitution there. And we refresh, and then message sent twice, but it does send you right back. It only showed it twice is because I sent it twice. Hi, and hit submit, message sent. Okay, cool. So now that works. Let's do the same thing with reply. And right below it, we're going to say reply sent. So reply sent. And in this case, we want to use the reverse for, so the new path would be reverse. And then we are going to actually want it for that specific message that we used. So back into our URLs, view direct message, and then args equals to, it's going to be dm.id or _id, and this should bring us to that message that we just sent. Okay, so let's test that out. Go in here, go to reply, hey there again, and hit submit. And it takes us back into the message we just sent, and it'll say reply sent, and it's back into that original message and all that. And if we look in our sent mail, we see that it was sent and all that. So cool. Well, that is kind of the basics of doing this inbox thing. And again, you can always clean it up and do all that stuff, but now we're going to move back into finishing up the actual transactions for the marketplace, the MatchMaker application, so we can kind of make sure that all this stuff's tied in and it's actually working, and you can start using this in real life. All right.